Hiya guys, Maya from SportShare here doing a video for the theory side of sailing upwind. There's a couple of things to know about sailing upwind. It's one of the basic first skills that you'll know, and I hope this helps the novices out there. So the first point of sail you'll probably be sailing on is across the wind, like that. Imagine the wind was coming from the sailing upwind badge there. Because that's the safest point of sail to be on. The boat is most controlled that way, and it's the easiest point of sail. But what we want to get you to do is sail from the bottom of the lake to the top of the lake, so you've got a good range of sailing skill in there. So the first thing we need is, first of all, to know where the wind is coming from. That's kind of a blatant obvious thing. If you want to sail upwind, you want to know where the wind is coming from. If you're on an upmarker buoy, this is kind of going to be your aim, to sail around. It's a good target. Keep something stationed in the water instead of just aim at that duck that's going to be on the opposite side of the lake when you get there. So always put a buoy, an anchored boat, anything to sail around if you're aiming to sail upwind. And the last thing is your boat. Kind of self-explanatory, but still. So what we're going to have a little look at is the points of sail. At the moment, as I mentioned, we're kind of sailing across the wind, so that's that beam reach there. What we're going to aim to do is sail upwind. So the two for upwind is close hauled and close reach. So let's see how we can use those. So again, here we've got our upwind marker buoy, we've got our wind direction, so we know exactly where the wind is coming from. And trust me, I wish there was an arrow like this on every lake. There's not. But there are good techniques to know where the wind is coming from. For example, following the ripples on the water, using your hair if you're lucky enough to have long hair, you know, using a burgee, or using just picking up some grass or anything to throw up in the air to see where the wind is coming from. So here we've got the boat sailing on a beam reach. What I always get my students to do is push the tiller away and pull their sail in. Now you'll notice this point of sail is a close reach. We're not pointing right into the wind just yet, our sail's not all the way in, but it's getting us used to sailing closer to the wind. Now the next point of sail is the close reach, is the close hauled, should I say. The close hauled, you're sailing as close to the sail as possible, and get students, or get yourself if you're a novice, to just get used to this. Get used to looking at the wind, looking at the sail in the wind, making sure the belly of the sail is full so you can constantly see that there's wind in there, and there's a helm that's really important for you. It'll make sure you're always moving your boat, it'll make sure you've always got wind in the sail. Okay, and what you'll notice here is if you just put in your sail, making it close hauled and close reach, what you'll end up doing is sailing upwind, but not necessarily to a marker buoy. It's a perfectly fine place to start, to get used to sailing, you know, upwind, but eventually you will want to aim for that marker buoy. So let's look at a technique to get you sailing to that point. So I've taken us back here to just 3 boats, and what we're going to do is exact same beam reach across, sailing close reach into the close hauled, but instead of going along in the same way, so we end up next to the buoy on the left hand side of the buoy, probably 10 boat lengths away, we're going to do a tack. Now what the tack does is it pushes the front of the boat through the wind, so now your boat is facing kind of the opposite direction. But if you get used to tacking and can kind of tack tightly, so you're not going 180 degrees around, which you will be doing to start with, that's absolutely fine, but you'll go back through sailing from the beam reach to the close hauled, to the close reach, to the close hauled. What you're aiming to do here is push the boat through the front of the boat through the wind, so you're sailing again on that close hauled position there. And what this has done here is now you're actually at the point, you're right next to the buoy, you know, so you can go round it, you can stop by it, you can get there by tacking. So put this on a big feature scale, because it's rare that you can just do one tack and get to the upwind marker buoy. Here you can see we sail on our beam reach, 1, 2, 3 tacks in, probably the 4th tack to get to the buoy there. Realistically, you'll have to do more like 3, 4, or maybe more depending on the size of the lake. but here you can see sailing constantly, close hold or close reach in order to get to that marker buoy. This is a great way to do it, and is a great way to start, get you really used to tacking, and more importantly get you used to tacking that closeness to the wind, which does come with time, does come with practice, but is really, really useful if you're going to race or, you know, just save time on the water. This isn't the only way to do it though. Every time you tack, every time you put the front or the back of the boat through the wind, it actually reduces the speed of the sail, so it reduces the speed that the boat is travelling. A good way when you're sailing upwind to avoid that is to go along again, be in reach, to close hold, but instead of tacking right there, we're going to sail on a little bit. What that does is it allows us to build speed. We've gone way past the buoy, but we don't mind that at this point, because as long as we're sailing upwind, we can then do the tack and sail up like that again. And what this allows us to do, again, we've gone past the buoy, but on the next tack we're right there. That allows us to either get to the buoy or, you know, go alongside the buoy, tack around it, etc. Going so you don't have to tack every couple of boat lengths really helps you build up your speed. If you're racing, by the way, I totally recommend doing this, because it just helps build speed, as I've said, and, you know, stops as many tacks. So this for racing I'd recommend. Now there's a couple of games and things that I do when sailing upwind. The first one's a race. With racing, it's great. You'll see that there's loads of people, a big group, maybe not that confident, but everyone has this competitive spirit inside of them that comes out if you just say the word race or winner if you get past this point first. So if you set a race, top marker buoy, everyone's got to be in a line. Try and make it as fair as possible. If there's a big group of you, it's absolutely perfect, because you'll see other people, all the sailors on the water will watch what their competitors there are doing and either copy or say, I know what you're doing, but I think I can do this a bit better. Get them really competitive, get everyone really pumped. You'll see maybe 2-3 groups of sailors connect and go off slightly, but overall it's a great game to play. Very simple. You don't need any equipment other than the buoy in the water that should be there anyway because of the session you run earlier in that day. The second is track your tack. This is really good for smaller groups. Set up a leaderboard if you want to make it competitive, but you don't have to with this. It's personal to people. If someone sees that at the start of the day they did downwind to upwind in 10 tacks, they might be happy with that, but if you run through a couple of sessions, a couple of tips to show how to improve on it, and then test them again, or testing's the wrong word, make them do it again, track your tack again at the end of the day, see how much they've improved. It gives them a huge confidence boost, and you know, it shows how much they've actually improved. So they're my main tips for sailing upwind. I hope you've enjoyed it.